Hello and welcome. Today I'm here interviewing Annabelle Guptill out of Salem, Oregon. She's a nationally ranked fiddle player and a state fiddle champion. Very, very high credentials. She teaches fiddle lessons from her studio in Salem to a wide variety of students, with ages ranging from 3 to even 45. She plays with the Highway Home Bluegrass Band, which is a local band that plays for several small gigs all over the Northwest. So it's very, pretty cool deal. She focuses on contests, bluegrass, and old-time fiddle jams, so she's very dedicated to the art of fiddling, and I'm very excited to be interviewing her. Welcome to Annabelle's studio. As you can see, she has several of her family's instruments up here. So let's get in depth, exactly, so you as a artist. What inspired you to start fiddling?
So when I was really little, I lived near the National Fiddle Contest in Weiser, Idaho, and my grandma would always take me there, and I just loved sitting and listening to these amazing musicians up on stage, and that's really when I started to want to play the fiddle.
Very good. How do you manage nerves on stage? I know many people have different ways. Do you count to 10, hold your breath for 10 seconds, sing a song in your head? I mean, what exactly do you do? What's your routine?
So usually before I go on stage, when I'm practicing, I like to, chew on a piece of gum or something. It helps, it helps me just kind of calm down, and then I walk on stage and I take a few deep breaths. I really enjoy performing, so I don't usually get too nervous, but that helps. And then usually try to find a few spots around the room where I can imagine friendly faces and try to play to them.
That's cool. Do you always play without music, or how does that work?
So with fiddling, most of what I do, there's not much music with fiddling, so everything that I do is either memorized or improvised. So when I do my bluegrass, I know what key the song's in, and then I just have fun with it and improvise. When I do my contests, most of the time what I play is memorized from some kind of music, but I like to put in some of my own little style pieces inside of the music as well.
Oh, very cool. So I know fiddling takes quite a bit of practice. I've heard pretty crazy stories about crazy routines as far as between minimum of 2 and 3 hours of practice a day. Can you take us a quick walk about through your week about what that looks like as far as practice schedule goes?
Yeah, so during the week, I tend to practice about 2 hours a day. During the summer, I play all day because I go to jams, contests, and I just have more time, so I just love playing, so I'll just play throughout the day. But during the school year, I typically practice for about 2 hours a day. I'll go through some warm-ups, so some scales of the songs that I'm going to be playing in, some finger technique exercises. Then I go through songs. Then I'll sometimes I go on YouTube and I find bands or other recordings of songs that I want to do. I'll listen to it. I'll play with it. So that's pretty much what I do.
Okay. Can you briefly tell me about the parts of your instrument? Kind of go through just real quick about what is your instrument made of?
Yeah, sure. Let me grab it. So this right here, this is my fiddle. This is shoulder rest. This varies. Different people like different things. This is what I like. So this is my fiddle. So this is the body of my fiddle. As you can kind of tell, it's really old. I really like this instrument. It's made of. So this is all wood. Even the fingerboard here. And so this is the body of the violin. These are called the F-holes. This is where the sound comes. This is the chin rest. Let me put it up. So these are the strings right here. G, D, A, E. That's that's what I play on. These up here are tuning pegs. This is what tunes the instrument. This is the bridge. This is what absorbs the vibration of the strings. These are my fine tuners. Some people like their fine tuners, some people don't. I every time I switch my strings, I either take them off, put them back on. They're just nice to get the perfect pitch. Yeah, and then up here is scroll, fingerboard. I play, and that's pretty much the basics of the instrument. And then the bow right here. This is what I actually use to play. So this is the bow. This is horsehair actually, and then I put rosin, which is right here. This is tree sap, so I put this on the horsehair in order for it to go. It helps it grip to the strings to have a better sound. And then down here, this is where I hold my bow. This is called the frog. All my little students really like that because they're like, oh, we get to put our finger on the frog. It's just fun. And yeah, so these are the two main. This is the parts of the violin.
Very cool. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So I know this is a very commonly asked question, but just to clarify, what is the difference between a violin and a fiddle? Are they different instruments, or what is it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So there's actually really not a difference between a fiddle and a violin. Some people have like their fiddle and some people have their violin. It's the same instrument. It's really the different style. So it's like between jazz and classical. So you can make modifications to your violin to make it sound more like fiddleish or old time, depending on what you do. There's so many different types of fiddling, but really they're the same instrument. I really like this instrument, and so I use this as a violin and a fiddle, mostly fiddle. And then I change up my bow depending on the sound that I want.
Well, very cool.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, actually. So I just have to ask, who is your favorite fiddle player?
Okay, my favorite fiddle player is Luke Price. He is the two-time national grand champion and amazing bluegrass fiddle player, and he's actually from Portland, Oregon.
Oh, very cool.
So he's nearby. So yeah,
have you ever had to meet him personally? Or?
Yeah, I actually have been able to take a few lessons from him, which was really great. yeah, so he's great.
Now I'm just going to give a little quick summary of just the tradition and the history of fiddle music. I have a couple notes on that. It says traditional fiddle music is of the American South and Midwest, most notably that of Kentucky, Virginia, Arkansas, and Tennessee. She also does bluegrass, as you told me.
Yeah. That's more Texas.
Okay, and now that grew out of old time and country music, so it's a performance rather than a dance music, I see.
Yeah.
That's how you prefer it. Okay.
Yeah, so old time is more of a dance, so you'll, if you want, I can kind of play a little bit. So this is like old time music. So that's just fun, kind of old-timey dance. And then bluegrass is with like a band, so you have like a lot of instrumental breaks or
just like your band.
Singing. Yeah, like my band. So that's more bluegrass. And then contest is kind of a mix of contest. Some leans sometimes toward the classical technique side, so it's not as scratchy sound, or it's not as fun, like you wouldn't dance to it. But
well, speaking of this, so tell me about the types of tunes there are.
Okay, yeah. So types of tunes. So there's a wide variety of types of tunes. There's jigs. Those are in usually 6/8 time, and so those are like more Irish. Those would be in a contest. Those would be like a tune of choice. There's the hoedown. That's what I just played you. A hoedown. Hoedown, breakdown, they're pretty much the same thing. So that's typically in simple duple or simple quadruple time. So 2/4 or 4/4.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a basic. You can do-si-do to it. And then waltzes. Waltzes are big in fiddle. That's in 3/4 time. And those are and rags. Those are big. Those are really fun. Those are usually in 2/4 or 4/4 time as well.
Rag. So can you give an example of that?
A rag. Yeah. So let's see. Like, or let's see. So it's like.
Very good. Okay, I like that. Okay. Well, thank
Yeah.
you for
So
all
that's
this.
that's more like swung.
Okay, I see. Very cool. Well, this has all been very, very fun. I enjoy hearing all the different styles and everything. I definitely walked away with quite a bit more knowledge about the fiddle. I thank you for your time. And this is Hamilton Hunt and Annabelle Guptill.